Good morning, fellow Forex traders. We are going to review the past 24 hours of trades. You are looking at the free signals trades. We're 220 in unclosed, not closed, unrealized profit at this point because we're waiting for this NZD CAD trade to move into take profit. It's making its move. It's getting there. This is a real good example of how my system works. When it goes against, we continue to add. That's why we originally bid. Our original bid is realistic for our account. And this is going to be very nicely profitable trade. So if we look at closure, there's no closure for the day. We've been in this trade for a week. So if I look at the week, nothing for the week. For the month, 155.27. That's free signals. This is going to be a very profitable trade, depending on whether you've paid attention to my free system, whether you've taken all of the trades and scaled in properly. It does give you a report at the end of the day to tell you what trades are running. So the nice thing about that is, even if you missed a few in this scale, and it didn't all happen at once, happened over, about a 4, 5, 6 day time, then you can go back to that report in the free signals area and you can scale in properly, and you could have the kind of results you're seeing on the screen here. Very simple. There's no volume in this market. There's not. Now, that's more of a general observation, because if you look at it technically and you were not in this trade in the market, there's enough volume out there in other trades that seems pretty normal. But what happens is we get into this trade and we really can't be taking any more, because this particular pair is pulling back. I mean, look, it's profitable, right? Like, I could cancel out of this right now and take profit. I'm letting this go to the take profit. I know that's where it's going. So, yes, Mark, gold is toying with us hard this morning. We're going to take an in-depth look at what gold was doing, and I have to be careful because, hindsight's 2020. I'm going to sound like I'm an absolute fucking master looking at historical data telling you what it did, right? So I'm going to be careful about that, but I will tell you what my thinking was at the time when certain trades were happening, and we'll get into that, okay? So here is, that's the free signal, looking pretty good. I told you guys, they're probably waiting for Friday, non-farm payroll, to finish this out. Here we are Wednesday. It might finish out between now and Thursday. It might. We will look at some of the other auto trading and see what kind of the volume / sentiment is in the market in terms of what other pairs are trading. And yes, we will talk about that high profit. We will talk about the high profit stuff. I'm trailing off there because I'm looking at the profit here on the screen go up and up and up. And that's pretty much what NZD CAD is doing. It's kind of going up and down in a sideways fashion, but it's getting ready to jump up and hit the take profit. I don't believe I'm printing. Yeah, I am. Actually, let's take a look at the chart real quick, because I am printing the take profit. Let's zoom out a little bit. See if you can see this here. On the screen, the take profit is up here. And that is where we are headed. So if we're at $300 profit right now on just looking at the free signals, we're talking double, triple that by the time we get to the TP. So is it going to continue to linger sideways? It is. At least for now. Pause screen. Let's go over to premium signals. And this is also kind of indicative of what's going on in the market. Let me pull it up here. It is this one. Currently in 2 trades in premium. And I've pulled premium back because it can get a little overwhelming. But if you're in premium and you want more signals, let me know. I just flick a button, right? But I'm trying to keep it manageable and realistic. Where you should be, where everyone should be, is inside of the full auto trader. Even if you're not taking the full auto trades, like again, I get people come in every day. I want to put your auto system on my prop firm. Don't do it. They're not going to pay you. Someone said that last night. They watched my video. They're like, oh, okay, I get it. But you can still take the full auto system, put it on a 100K demo account, and use it as your superpower ability to see through walls. You should be doing that. Even if you're then hen picking and hen picking out pairs and jumping in a little bit later in a sequence if there are any. We can look at some of that. In terms of closing, I'll show you what we got here. So we've closed 2 NZD USD. Those hung in for a while, but that's a really nice trade. $86.42, and that's in signal profits. You could bid whatever you want. You could bid a lot more. You could bid a lot less. That is the signal that came out in premium. So pretty impressed with that. Let's move on. Let me pull up my account list so I'm make sure I'm not missing anything. So that was free signals, premium signals. Let's go look at the 10 pip hybrid. Because again, it's pretty similar to even the free signal that we're in, but let me pull it up here. 10 pip hybrid, and I think we're getting pretty close to releasing this in terms of you being able to plug into it. Here it is. So again, we're in that NZD CAD trade. It's doing really well. This hybrid did not jump into all of them, and because that's just what it does, it just jumps in and takes the next available trade. This particular, the very first NZD CAD it went into was just the next one available whenever whatever it was trading closed out. So that's kind of the cool thing about it. It's not just waiting or taking the first trade. Like NZD CAD went deep on us, the market pushed against us, and this jumped in a little bit later. So I mean, I could close this out right now at and this is very realistic numbers for a $10,000 account, $578 profit. Yeah, we've held it for about a week. I don't control the market, right? Like, wouldn't it be nice to make $500, $600 a day with standard currency pairs? Probably not going to happen. But you look at these kind of numbers over a 12-month period, you'll be floored at what you can pull out of an account. So let's take a look at the history here. So nothing closed for the day. The week has only closed $20.38, but all of our profit's going to be in this NZD CAD, and then we're going to move on, right? We're going to move on. Just hasn't been a lot of volume. And remember, this 10 pip hybrid feed, this is protected because we trade currencies in groups. I set it up into 6 different groups. We trade currencies that do not cross each other. So this is extremely powerful. I also yesterday made a tweak to not take, so we're in AUD CHF here, to not take any other pairs other than these 2, because it would have traded, I think, Euro USD in this group. I just turned it off. I said, you know what? Let's give the room to this NZD CAD that's pushing, and so a little teeny tiny 10 seconds worth of manipulation there to just give the account as much margin level power as it can have to close this out and move on. Probably overbidding in this account right now, probably overbidding, but I will pull that back a little bit because we continue to get, these particular pairs. I will tell you, just realize this. I've been telling you about my new algorithm that would take, for example, an NZD CAD trade like this, and it would start to get us, it would get us out in this area of trades. It would just get us out. It wouldn't do this stuff. Now, these are all blue right now, and you're like, wait, I'm missing profits. Yeah. So it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. You either miss the profits on these long-term trades, or and you get more volume, right? More trades, because you just open up your account to accept more trades. Or you get in a trade like this that's nicely profitable and, spread out whatever the profits are going to be over the week that we held this. And, it all kind of equals out. But my algorithm has worked, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you some trades that has closed out. It works really well, and it's more of a concept than the actual numbers I'm going to show you, because the numbers are going to be a little wild, because I just placed a bunch of wild-ass trades, and then I put the recovery system on it. The idea in the future, right now in my head, is the moment a currency pair goes either 4 or 5 deep, I'm going to put the zone recovery system on it and just get out. That's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. It'll save us from going 10, 15, 16, 20 deep. And that does not mean that zone recovery concept isn't also going to hit the account, but it's certainly not going to hit the account as hard. When I say hit it, margin level percent, it's not going to hit it as heavy as going 16, 18, 19 trades deep. Mark says, I'd rather get out on this type of scenario. I would too. It could be, the only thing I don't know moving forward is the best time to get out. Is it 4 deep? Is it 5? Is it 7? And to test it, I've got to test it on real time, moving forward data. So I'm just going to have to do it. Right? I'm going to have to do it. I think worst case scenario, because I'm going to put it on the live system, right? Worst case scenario is, you're going to get these trades. It's going to hedge. And worst case scenario is it hits your account as hard as it would have hit it if we let it go 20 deep. Look at the profit soaring up there on this thing. I'm not saying it's going to go into profit. I'm not saying we're going to hit profit because it's quite a bit higher here. I think the take profit is somewhere up here. It's not printed on this chart, but we've got some movement. It's feeling good. It's going in the direction I said it would, so you can't be too upset with me. But yeah, we've held this for a week. But the algorithm's working good. We will take a look at that. So that is the 10 pip hybrid. Let me go to the pause. Account list so I don't miss anything here. Let's jump into the gold. You know what? Before we jump into the high profit, let me finish my thoughts here and actually show you a recovery that will look a little wonky, but I'll see if I can explain it. Because this happened on forward moving data. So I'll just share this with you. It's absolutely a test account, and you have to kind of see the whole thing to understand what I'm doing here. So this was I think I started out with about a $13,000 account, just some stuff I was testing. So what we're looking at here is I placed a bunch of, hold on, I'm getting a notification. I need to look at something. Stand by, my friends. I'm looking at the gold trade behind the scenes. I'll share it with you guys in a little bit here, but yeah, it's just running us for our money. Just checking here. We're fine. Let me look at one more thing. I need to look at a notification before we get back into this. Trading is happening in real time, my friends. Oh, it just launched a US 30 trade. Stand by. I may have to do something because I have an account. Yeah, that's not going to work. All right. We do have a limit order that just came in on US 30. Mark says US 30. Mark's on top of it. Mark is on top of it. I'm looking at 17 different screens here. Okay, so let me come back to this recovery algorithm that I was showing you. Here we are. So it's going to look a little wonky. I put a bunch of NZD CAD trades on a chart, right? Just scaled in, and Yeah, well, I was trying not to give that away, Mark, but you just gave it away, so there you go. Not that it's a big deal. So kind of threw me off there by seeing that. All right. So what we're looking at here is just a bunch of NZD CAD trades, and then it was all of these buy trades. And then the algorithm jumped in and it hedged, and it's doing this is kind of a weird thing it's doing like a buy at 0.01 and then it scales in. I think that's just a trigger for the algorithm, and then it scales in again to another buy, and then it launched to sell, and it's balancing this out. Okay, it's balancing this out. Another notification. Stand by. I need to look at this. Okay, we're still good. Sorry, it's happening in real time here. So, nonetheless, this looks a little wonky, and it wouldn't necessarily exactly look like this, but you can see what's happening is the sell totals are fighting against the buy totals and protecting the margin, and it's going to recover this. Okay, and a little bit wonky, but I just had to kind of throw some trades on there and get them to launch off and then put the recovery. But if you look at this, let's look at a recovery that happened. Now pay no attention, and I'll tell you what this is down here. Pay no attention to the GBP JPY. That was an individual trade, a brand new bot that I'm testing, and I'm really impressed with it. So we'll get to that. So what happened here is you can see NZD USD. Here is a basket of trades, and what the system did, it's very similar to what we were looking at of what's open right now with NZD CAD in this recovery system. I did some buy trades. Okay, I did a buy. I think the system did that. I did a buy. Yeah, and then the system has a sell stop ready in case it goes the other way. But it placed a sell and another sell, and it's basically what it did was this is closed trade, so it did this sell stop and then close it out because it didn't need it, right? But this entire basket of trades closed with a tiny little, it was just a couple dollars below break even, right? Because this was about a $20 profit last night, and this is showing a profit of $14.58. So this was actually about, this entire basket of trades here was about a minus $5. So it got out at minus $5. That's pretty good mathematics, especially for what it had to do here. Now, aren't hitting the account like you would think they would just looking at that straight number. So you have to understand that concept. If you go back here, and although it's not really indicative, you can see it's $198 in drawdown, but the margin level percent is 19,000. So I don't think $198 or $200 would hit the $13,432 account that hard anyway, but it certainly would hit it harder than 19,000%. And we're getting a higher margin level percent there because of the hedging, the opposite orders. So this is really good. Now, to envision how this is going to work on the auto trader is the auto trader is going in at 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. So we're going to get in and stop the bleeding, stop the runaway trade at probably 30 cents, 40 cents, right, from the base algorithm that sends out the trade. And it's going to hedge it from there. And I'm very careful on what my hedge multiply factor is. So a lot of times very aggressive is 2, an aggressive, to double the lot size. So I have to be careful there. Right now I've got it set at 1.5, I believe, and so it's not as aggressive on the recovery. So we'll see. But truly, I'm going to have to say, hey guys, at trade 5 on pair XYZ in the live real system, I'm going to have to put this. We'll call it auto recovery, right? But it's really, I don't have a name for it. It's a get the hell out of that trade system. So we can, keep moving and get volume of the other trades. So frankly, at this point, it's worked great. It's worked great. Now, let me show you this. This is pretty promising. I know, don't fucking freak out, because I'm testing a bot that I've had for years that has this algorithm that I pulled out that I'm actually using here to get out of trades. It has the algorithm built into it. So it's a trend trading robot. I put it on the 4-hour chart. I bid a base dollar, and it has a trailing stop, so it got out. But what it does is it sets a sell stop. So it did a buy, and that sets a sell stop the same amount of distance as the take profit is set. So if the trade goes against, it launches the sell. If the trade continues to go against, it takes profit on the sell, which is a higher lot size, gets out of the trade. So it's a trend trader with this automated algorithm built in. And I was like, I might as well try it. I'll launch it on the chart. And obviously one trade will never tell you, but the concept is it fired off, it did its thing, it took profit, it got out. Is this something that I could offer in the future? Absolutely. I think it's really, really good. But you see, mad scientist, always testing something. But the fact that it has the algorithm that I wanted, that I'm using separately, built into it, and I was like, this looks really good. It's a trend trader. It basically follows a basically it follows a moving average that has some programming built into it that is that doesn't repaint or lag. So anyway, it's all kind of like mathematics and algorithms. So this is looking good. This is looking good. Let's go back to the pause, and I believe we'll jump to the gold now. And listen, in full degenerate gambler style, let me open this up. In full degenerate gambler style, let me show you what's going on with gold. I'm not going to show you what's open, but I will show you what has closed so far. So this US 30 is from yesterday, just time-wise, so pay no attention to that. So we got into a gold sell this morning, immediately went against us. And I want to go look at a chart and kind of show you what was happening. And I took a loss on that, right? And then the system jumped in again, and it's currently kind of holding on to that. Let me pause for a second and look at what it's really doing. It's just holding on to it. Now, what I did as a degenerate gambler is I scaled the hell into this thing, and I take a loss, I jump back in. Take a loss, jump back in. And I get it. It's, it's degenerate gambler style. Let's go look at the browser real quick. And we will look at gold real quick. Browser is right here. Here we go. So, listen, I have to be careful here. I am not telling you that I knew any of what's about to happen. I'm going to tell you what happened, okay? So don't mistake me. In this area, the AI took a sell this morning. Let me see if I can scale this a little bit better. There we go. In this area right in the middle here, and the RSI 4 was right in the middle. So it did a sell, and I was like, that seems a little odd for the RSI to be in the middle, right? I typically, like, for example, had you done a buy over here where the RSI 4 had just bottomed out, you'd be doing real good right now. They tried to take out some stops over here, right? But what happened was, and I really don't know why it entered. I mean, I don't think it was the news announcement. There was some news this morning that early on that I think pushed this down a little bit. Obviously, the AI system was wrong here. So what happened is it did a sell, and it moved against us and took us out right here on this candle. And then it did another sell, and then it took us out right here on this wick. Okay? And I'm like, at this point, I'm laying in bed 2 hours watching this thing in the dark, right? And I'm like, all right, now I'm pissed off. Now I'm pissed off. I started scaling in sell trades up here. So I'm in like at least three sell trades. I think I can show. I'm like, I'm making my money back, right? And I was going full on 4,000 level, degenerate gambler style, huge lot sizes. And now I'm pushing it right to the limit, right? It's a small account. If I blow it, I'll just deposit again today and act like it didn't happen, right? No big deal. I'm making enough overall to do that. So this is just a really crazy day. But if you kind of wanted to know, you probably, I'll give you a little bit of a tip. And again, this is my degenerate gambler side coming out. I'm looking at the 15-minute chart. You could do a sell right now on gold because I believe it's coming back down to this area down here. You could do that. That's what I'm doing. We'll see what happens, right? I either make money or blow out my entire account. Back to the session. Let me go here and let's pause and I'll pull out. We'll look at what other accounts we're going to look at. That's probably about it. Everything else, all the other pairs are just kind of being spread across. I have not looked at this one. Stand by. Let me pull this up, see if it's worth looking at. This is the challenge account. Not really anything going on. Yeah. Let's look at this. There's a little bit of volume here. So this is my YouTube challenge account, meaning I'm trading from 3K to 100K, and market has just been slower than all get out. You can see we're in the NZD CAD. You can see some other trades that we're in. We're in a lot more of the NZD CADs than some of the other accounts because this one just jumped in earlier. 587% margin level on a $2,500 account. That's pushing the limits, but I know this NZD CAD, as you can see, is headed towards profit. What's nice is, and this kind of gives you an example that if you're looking at all of the pairs, there are trades to be closed. If you're not in that one that's kind of been, NZD CAD that's just been holding up our account. So there's volume there. In fact, the next screen I will show you is the actual volume from the live system. And there's a lot there, right? But you don't get to see it because you can't take any more trades because NZD CAD is just basically tying up your account, tying up your margin. So hence the reason that I want to deploy this get out faster algorithm and allow some of the other volume to continue. So for example, hindsight 2020, if we got out of NZD CAD last week after it went 4 deep, right? And it might have taken 2 or 3 days to get out of it. You're still going to hold it for a little while, right? But you get out of it maybe 2-3 days earlier than we normally would, and you allow other volume to come along. And here's some of the other volume. So this just last night, this particular account closed $35 volume. This is taking more volume than some of the other trades. So let me pause here and show you the overall volume from the auto system. And I think it's pretty impressive from what I was looking at. But remember, we're going to look at, let's see, where is it at? Here it is. Let me go to the history. So here's what's interesting. So this is last night's volume, basically in the last 20 hours or so, of what has closed if you were not stuck in NZD CAD, right? Decent amount, about $10.81 closed at a 10-cent original bid. But look at it for the week. $100.80 closed over the last 7 days. That's a lot of volume. Now watch me scroll back. These are a lot of trades you probably couldn't and didn't take because you got stuck in NZD CAD, just like me and everybody else. But watch me scroll back through the screen here. This should be pretty impressive. Okay, just for the week, look at these. Just for 7 days, it's just trade after trade after trade after trade after trade. We're not even halfway through. Trade after trade after trade after trade. Just keep going. I'm going to 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 keep going. Okay. Now that is going back to what is that saying? March 21. Why is that going back that far? Hold on for a second. I think it's because March. Yeah, that's not bad. So it's if I go to the calendar real quick, let's take a look at that. So what are we today? Yeah, so it's like 7 days worth of trading, um, round numbers. But that's impressive, my friends. Had you been out of NZD CAD that was just freezing the accounts, I'm gonna scroll back down to the bottom. Look at this. Like, I don't know what is there, 150 trades there. Like, you'd be able to get the volume. So you see where I'm going with this. The system's trading, but we get stuck in one pair that goes against us because we're degenerate gamblers and we bid a lot because we want to make a lot, right? And then we get stuck a lot. So I'm going to try to prevent that. Stand by. I don't believe there is any other account. Let me look real quick. There is one other. I don't know if I want to see this one. Yeah, I'm not. There's really nothing else to look at. So stand by. I need to put it on one other thing. One more account. Here it is. I think we already looked at this. No, this is actually, I'll just show you this real quick. This is a live account that I have that I'm just throwing a bunch of trades at very low lot size, just kind of, getting a feel for the market. You can see it's in that NZD CAD, which is pretty much frozen it. And I'm in a US 30 buy limit down there at a very extremely low lot size. History wise, it's closed out $9.61, but you can see what it's done is I'm actually taking some of the high profit trades at literally minimum. But even at 10 cents, I made $27 on the US 30, and I think that was that trade's still hanging out. That closed from yesterday. And then this is the tiny little gold trade I took on the account this morning that didn't work out very well. But again, as you've seen me go live earlier, I scaled into that, and it's going to be profitable. I think what we can do is I'll pause one more time, and I will actually pull up that account and see where we're at here. Yeah, the gold's just went sideways. Nothing's happening. I'm in drawdown. Let me look the chart real quick. I'll pull this up and show you. So here's the current chart. The AI entered down in here a sell trade, and it just went against and against and against. And now what's interesting is you can see where I entered. I entered 2 trades here. The system entered a trade here, and I also entered a trade here because I'm looking for it to come down here. And it's just, it's just up and down. It's basically sideways in let me draw it here. It's basically sideways in a channel. And here's my TP down here. So just waiting. I think it's coming down there. So hindsight's 2020. But that's it. Appreciate you watching. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, April 3rd. We're just waiting to get out of NZD CAD. I'm testing the algorithm. I think I'll be able to put it on something live. The moment we get out of NZD CAD, I'm looking for the next trade in the auto system to dump that algorithm on. We'll see how it plays out. I know I'll be able to release the 10 pip hybrid pretty soon, which will also deploy that algorithm if needed. I got the new trend trader and I haven't even looked at this, but for some reason, let me pull it up real quick. For some reason, I told you guys I deployed a 30 pip, not a 30 pip, a US 30 scalper. And it's just kind of, here it is. Let me show you. It will not trade at all. I'm going to have to get with the developer. It's just sitting here. Like, what? It's supposed to be trading US 30 and scalping, and it's not working at all. I probably did something wrong. So I'll get with the developer. But Mark says, I'm holding. Hell yeah, I'm holding. Because I took it on the chin this morning. I'm holding until it goes to 0. And then I have to deposit more money. I'm going, you know what? I'm chasing the price. Absolutely chasing the price. The fact, here's why I trust it, right? And I'm not chasing as much as I say I'm chasing. I trust it because the algorithm was like, the sentiment is to sell, and then it went against, and I entered again, and it went against, and I got stopped out, and then it said go ahead and sell again, right? So I did, and then the algorithm sent a sell trade on top of that. So I'm scaled in pretty deep right now. I'm like, well, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make back that loss. And if not, like I said, I'll dig in my pocket, deposit, start over. What's the lesson? I mean, I have to be careful because hindsight is just too easy. But what's the lesson? I'll just show you, right? I'm just going to say this. So I'll take you right here. So here's the lesson, I believe. If the AI is going to send you a gold trade, and it does it when the RSI 4 is in the middle, I'm going to be extremely skeptical. That's it, right? I looked at it. I scaled in because I trust the system, but also my gut. Listen. It was like dark, and I had to put my glasses on, and I entered the trade because the system had already went into profit. So it's like, gotta jump in, and I didn't look at the chart, and I should have. So I have to tell you that from now on, when I see a gold trade launch, and the RSI 4 on the 15-minute chart is in the middle, I'm gonna go, you know what? I'm waiting. Because where are we at now? We're up at the top here. And I believe that's a much more realistic standby. I just got a notification. Let me take a look at something. I don't know what it is, but the AI just told me something. Let's see here. Re-entry if you hit break. You know what? Did we just get stopped out again? Stand by. Let me look. So much going on with these trades this morning. Let me take a look. Just got stopped out again. Well, the gold trades that I scaled into, I just got rid of my stop loss. I'm like, whatever. I'm waiting. We just got stopped out of the third gold trade in a row this morning. Oh, it's painful. Wow, look at that push. Well, I may scale into another sell trade right now. Let's see how high this thing's going to go. Yeah, if I'm being degenerate, I'm just going to scale into another sell right now. That puts my margin level percent at 200. Whatever, bro. Mark says, damn. You know what? I mean, here's the point. And we'll come back because I was looking at this. Look at the chart here, right? Like so this just took out the most recent stop, this wick here. You know, you can't predict this stuff, right? So I scaled in again. Let me take a look here. And my sell scaling is profitable. But yeah, I got to make up some decent money here. I believe it's coming down. So, you know, in true degenerate style, do what you will with your money. Burn it if needed. The more I gamble, the more I think about going to Vegas in May, the more I think that Forex is absolutely gambling. No pun intended. Like, this is just pure gambling. And you're either lucky or you're not. You have a good algorithm like we do, or you don't. So we'll see what happens on this. All right, I'm going to stop it there. Appreciate you guys joining me. I will see you tomorrow morning, Thursday. We'll be out of this NZD CAD trade, as far as you know. And I will guarantee you, Mark says, I just entered again. So did I. So did I. Not going to lie. So did I. But I have don't do what I'm telling you. I have no stops on my stuff right now. I'm not getting taken out again. I'm either going to margin out or we're going to profit and make up the money. I just I took a 50% loss on my account. So Derek says, set a stop, take a loss. Now here's the thing too. You have to be careful. Um, I noticed this. My AI system is going to continue to scale in, and if it sends you a trade and you're already scaled in on your own, you might have to just delete it quickly. So pay attention. All right, that's it. Bunch of degenerate gamblers. I will see you guys in the next live, and see you in the group. Take care.